The iPhone 14 have finally been released, and if you're thinking of choosing between the iPhone 14 and the iPhone 14 Pro, here are the top 7 differences between the two devices, so you can objectively decide which one to buy. In the new iPhone 14 series, there are 4 devices, but we are going to focus mainly on the iPhone 14 and the iPhone 14 Pro. And first and foremost, the price. The iPhone 14 was launched with a price of $799 to the US market, varying slightly in other countries. This means that not only the design of the iPhone 14 is the same as the iPhone 13, but also the price. On the other hand, the brand new iPhone 14 Pro was released with a price of $999 in the US market, with the same slight variation depending on the country you are in. And as the second major difference, we find the dynamic island. And this is the biggest difference between the iPhone 14 and 14 Pro, since the iPhone 14 and 14 Plus have the same notch of the last generation, while the iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max have this bell-shaped cutout, which although it seems like a simple aesthetic change, actually bring us cool new features. And this is what the dynamic island really is, because it's basically an area of the screen that adapts depending on what you do. So it allows you to see your phone calls, pay with Apple Pay, and a bunch of other features that are really cool. So you can think of the dynamic island as a second status bar that's much smarter and much better integrated into what we do, and it looks really fluid, and it's personally my favorite feature of the new iPhone. And as a third big difference, we find the inclusion of the very useful always on screen mode. And yes, this option was only included in the Pro model, so if your screen is turned off, you can see the time, charge, notification, and not only in black and white but also with colors. So it adds other options such as widgets, and surely it can be customized in a great way. This is an option I have been waiting for years, and I don't think it will disappoint at all. As a fourth big difference, we find the performance, and is that the iPhone 14 and 14 Plus are still with the same chip of the last generation, the i15 Bionic. However, it comes with the GPU model with 5 cores included in the iPhone 13 Pro last year, so we will see a slight performance improvement over the iPhone 13. And in the 14 Pro we have the all-powerful A16 Bionic, which promises to be the most powerful chip in phones, which is built on a smaller 4nm process compared to the 5 of the last generation, which promises us up to 20% more battery efficiency, and the GPU has 50% more bandwidth, so we expect a really great phone for gaming. But it won't be possible to get a great gaming phone without a great battery. So, as a fifth big difference, we find longer battery life on the Pro models than the regular models. So the regular 14 offers 20 hours of video playback, compared to 23 of the 14 Pro, and the 14 Max offers 26 hours, whilst the 14 Pro Max offers 29. So, the bigger, the longer it lasts. As sixth big difference, we find the design and build quality, where the 14 Pro models stand out for its construction with stainless steel, which adds a higher resistance but also a higher weight, compared to the normal models built with aluminum. As a reference, the iPhone 14 Pro weighs 34 grams more than the normal 14, and the 14 Pro Max is 37 grams heavier than the 14 Max, so even the iPhone 14 Pro is heavier than the iPhone 14 Max. So if you like lighter phones, you should definitely go for the standard models. It also highlights the inclusion of the bell-shaped cutout on the screen, which refreshes the front design we were already used to from past generations. In terms of colors, we find a new space black and a dark purple that we only find in the Pro models, and in the non-Pro models we find a nice lilac color, a new light blue, and a new shade of red available only in the regular models. In addition to the slight change in the camera model, between the Pro model and the non-Pro models, we find a big change in quality and functions, as the seventh and last big change. And that is that the new iPhone 14 Pro has a new 48 megapixel sensor. Holy fuck. And that is that the new iPhone 14 Pro has a new 48 megapixel sensor with pixel binning, compared to the 12 megapixel sensor that is the same in the iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Pro. The new iPhone 14 Pro has twice the quality in low light situations compared to the iPhone 13 Pro, and likewise the 14 models as well. Not only that, but the ultra-wide sensor is 3 times more powerful in low light situations, which is a big improvement. And on top of that, we also have a telephoto sensor, which the iPhone 14 doesn't offer. So you get 3x optical zoom accompanied with 2x digital zoom, which is achieved with the large 48 megapixel sensor, and thanks to that the quality seems to be quite good despite being a digital zoom. The flash is even twice as big on the Pro models, and likewise you have the LiDAR sensor that allows you to use augmented reality functions, among other cool things. And finally, these are the main differences between these two series of devices, which have a lot of new features such as the much talked about satellite alert system and many other things. So subscribe, as very soon I will bring videos about these new features. Don't forget to hit the like button and comment me your opinion about the video, and tell me what you would like me to do for the next one. Best regards and hope to see you around.